Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDN Nigeria. Click on the subscribe button and be the first to get notifications. Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, making a difference.
The Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, has concluded plans to provide lasting solutions to perennial flood disasters ravaging communities in the Niger Delta. Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the NDDC, Dr. Samuel Obuku, made the disclosure at a recent media parley at the Commission's corporate headquarters in Port Harcourt.
In January this year, the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, warned Nigerians to brace up for an impending flood outbreak. It would be recalled that the Niger Delta region accounted for the worst casualties in the 2022 floods, which left hundreds displaced, agricultural produce destroyed, and claimed lives in the region. At a recent interactive session with journalists in Port Harcourt, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the NDDC, Dr. Samuel Obuku, hinted that plans were underway to construct transit camps for flood victims in the Niger Delta. The transit camps, which would be situated in 3 states, namely Rivers, Bayelsa and Delta, are expected to provide shelter and basic necessities, including schools and healthcare services for internally displaced persons across the region.
We are very, very concerned about the welfare of our people when it comes to flood period, because over the years, if you look at the Niger Delta, once disasters are coming, there is possibly no preparation for where to relocate people to. So we want to build those transit camps so that those transit camps, even after the disaster, they can be used for other purposes. We're looking at a record time of completion by November. It's a peak period of the flood, so that when we want to distribute our relief materials, these relief materials will be distributed to those camps and not to government, and where these issues will be politicized.
While the transit camps will serve to provide temporary relief for flood victims, Dr. Obuku is also concerned about providing lasting solution to the flood menace. Hence, he says consultations are ongoing to build a Niger Delta dam for flood control.
We are calling that project Converting Your Liability to Assets. In building the dam will also be used for power generation, irrigation and other things, so it becomes an asset. And especially now that the federal government have liberalized power generation, meaning we can also make money out of it.
In the wake of last year's flood, farmers were forced to harvest their crops prematurely, while some crops were left in the ground to rot, a situation that could ignite food insecurity in the region. It is on this note that the NDDC plans to supply seedlings and fertilizers to farmers who are likely to be affected by this year's flood outbreak. In another development, the NDDC boss has promised Niger Deltans to expect commencement of legacy projects in the coming days. One of such legacy projects is the Borikiri-Okrika Bridge project in Rivers State, which is expected to serve as an alternative route for the dilapidated East-West Road, linking Port Harcourt City to other local government areas through Okrika.
We just met with the contractor and the consultants, and they have assured us that if the funds are made available, they can finish that project in 2 years' time. And we have also committed them that we are willing to finish that project in 2 years' time if they are ready, that we are ready to make the funds available.
The NDDC management team, under the watch of Dr. Samuel Obuku, says it would not start and abandon any project, and has therefore invited the media to hold it accountable for all of its actions every step of the way.
Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, making a difference. Inside the Niger Delta,